New information this hour about a woman killed when a tree fell on her driveway, the important work she did in the community.
Families in the dark, more than 1 million Georgians without power. The effort to get the lights on.
A woman survived when this SUV hit a fallen tree.
And I thought, this is it. This is the end. I'm done.
Live severe weather Team 2 coverage begins now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is the Channel 2 Action News Night Beat. Coverage you can count on.
Here in the past 30 minutes, the National Hurricane Center downgraded Irma to a tropical depression. But we still have some heavy rain falling across metro Atlanta. Good evening. I'm Justin Farmer.
I'm Jovita Moore. The strong winds are bringing down trees like this one across the metro area. This is a live picture from Forsyth County tonight. A woman was killed when that tree fell. We also have more live pictures now from Midtown Atlanta. That's where the power came back on from most of Midtown in the past hour. Across the state of Georgia, though, more than 1 million customers still in the dark tonight. We have live severe weather Team 2 coverage with crews all across metro Atlanta. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns tracking what's left of this storm drenching North Georgia.
Yeah, right now the storm center, the depression, is in southwestern Georgia, getting ready to slide off into the Alabama area. Right now, though, we're dealing with a solid area of rain that's extending down from northwestern Georgia to the western suburbs of Atlanta and then off to the southwest. So a very narrow area. And then as we get east of that, it becomes a little more widely scattered areas of rain covering the metro Atlanta area. That rain is moving off to the northwest at about 50 miles per hour. Now, as far as the wind goes, we've really settled down quite a bit. These are the new wind readings just coming into Severe Weather Center 2, and you can see very, very calmer, much calmer than they were this afternoon. So east at 16 miles an hour, sustained at the airport now. The strongest wind still in Athens, east-northeast at 26 miles per hour. And the wind gusts, let's take a look at those. Everybody pretty much below tropical storm criterion. East wind at 32 miles per hour, gusting to 32, but the winds are gusting to near 40 miles per hour in and around Athens. Much lighter here in Carrollton with a gust at 13, 31 mile per hour wind gust here in Rome. Now, the winds will gradually diminish through the night tonight, but the National Weather Service just issued a wind advisory now, and that continues until 3 a.m. We could see winds gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. But with that storm Irma fizzling out now, losing all of its energy, the wind field is beginning to die down, and the winds will be diminishing over the next couple of hours. And by 3 a.m., that wind advisory will expire. We'll take a look at what counties are included coming up.
Thank you, Glenn. New at 11, a Forsyth County family is mourning the loss of a loved one. A tree fell on her car this evening. You're looking at a picture of the woman given to us by friends this evening. And Channel 2's Sophia Choi continues our live Severe Weather Team 2 coverage now incoming near where it happened. Sophia, friends tell you this is a big loss for their community.
Absolutely. Nancy Eason was well known as a person who gave a lot to this community, in this tight-knit community. Her husband was the former police chief in Cumming. For many, many years, he was the police chief there. Now, they were both parked in a car right here on this driveway when that big tree fell on top of them.
She was good to us all. She was good to us all.
Nancy Eason's family is devastated. They say she was doing what she always does, checking in on others at this house on Shadburn Road in Cumming when this large tree came crashing down on her car, killing her. You can see the awful damage. Firefighters say she was in the passenger seat.
There was a very big help in the community, and that's what they was doing, was coming by to make sure everybody was okay with the storms going on.
Forsyth County firefighters say it happened just after dark when the weather was really bad.
This was during the height of some of the worst weather we were experiencing this afternoon. The winds had picked up and were gusting very, very strongly at the time.
Also in this car, Nancy's husband, Mike Eason. Firefighters say he walked away with only minor injuries, but his family says his heart is broken. And so are the hearts of so many others who knew and loved Nancy.
It's going to be a tough road for us, but we'll all, with everyone's prayers, we'll get through it.
The Cumming Police Department spokesperson says Nancy was always giving to the community, a very familiar face around the station. Now, tonight, the department is sending their prayers to the family, including their former chief. We're live in Forsyth County. Sophia Choi, Channel 2 Action News.
And our condolences to him as well, Sophia. Thank you. Now, Sandy Springs police say a fallen tree killed a 55-year-old man. He was sleeping inside his home on Hardeman Road. This was the first storm-related death reported today in the metro area. The owner of this house on Kingston Drive in Sandy Springs awoke to the sounds of cracking branches and a breaking tree.
Homeowner said normally he's drinking his coffee right here in the kitchen where the main hit was, and he just didn't have coffee this morning.
Police are not yet releasing the man's name until they notify his family. One other death in Georgia also blamed on Irma. A 62-year-old man was killed earlier today in Worth County.
Right now, about 1.4 million power customers across the state still have no electricity. That includes about 897,000 Georgia Power customers, and more than 500,000 EMC customers also in the dark tonight. We were there as the power came back on at the Varsity in Midtown Atlanta just a few minutes ago. But many other places still have no electricity. Our live severe weather Team 2 coverage continues now with Channel 2's Justin Wilfon in Decatur.
Well, with this rain still coming down and the wind still blowing pretty hard at times, Georgia Power tells me their crews won't be able to do much work out here until morning, and that's why we're still seeing scenes like this one all over town. Power lines down and many people still in the dark. It will be a long, dark night for residents of a Southwest Atlanta senior living community.
What is life like in the dark tonight?
It ain't pretty.
Rosalind Beal is trying to find her apartment at Trinity Towers after Tropical Storm Irma turned off the lights. She tells me management promised a backup generator would keep at least some power on. We tried contacting management with no luck.
You have people with respiratory illnesses and wheelchairs. The elevators ain't working.
All across the metro, the storm tore down power lines, including these in Decatur.
That doesn't look good right there.
Georgia Power crews could do little more than keep people away from the down lines, with conditions too dangerous to start repair work.
When the wind speed gets up to a certain level, we have to pull the crews in. It's not safe for them to be working, both in terms of having buckets up in the air.
With crews waiting for better conditions, we found a DeKalb County family trying to make the most of a night in the dark.
We've got plenty of food. We've got all the neighbors over here and all the kids playing. We've just turned it into a party.
While the kids enjoyed a game of Monopoly, for many, Irma's wrath still feels more like a rough game of life.
I think it'll be dark probably till lunchtime tomorrow.
And back here now live, power crews from more than 20 states are coming here to Georgia to help out. But Georgia Power tells me it will still be at least several more days before most power is restored. Reporting live in DeKalb County, Justin Wilfon, Channel 2 Action News, Night Beat.
All right, now there's breaking news. A city in North Fulton County asking all people to stay off the roads tomorrow. Live looks now. Riverside Drive and I-285 in Sandy Springs, just one of 30 roads affected by downed power lines. The mayor there asking for patience while Georgia Power begins to repair those downed power lines tomorrow morning. So far, the city has not released a timetable for when the roads will reopen. Crews in Jacksonville, Florida are searching through flooded streets for people stuck in their homes tonight. Our sister station rode along with one family, rescuing neighbors on a military-style truck in the town of Riverside. They helped one woman who said her family was relieved when she finally got out of her flooded home.
It's unbelievable because we haven't had it like this before.
Jacksonville mayor asked residents to put a white flag outside of their house if they need help. The city is under the threat of rising water for days to come. That story in our next half hour. Now have a look at the video of the back of an SUV now, just going down the road. Watch what happens. The tree right down in front of that SUV tonight. We have talked to the woman who was driving that car. Channel 2's Lori Wilson continues our live severe weather Team 2 coverage now from Spalding County, the video everyone's talking about.
I talked to the woman exclusively today who was driving that car that was literally stopped in its tracks by a tree that was falling. She says when she saw the video, she broke down. Watch this dash cam video for just a few seconds, and you'll see just how fortunate April Baxter is.
It started falling, and I closed my eyes and hit the brakes and started screaming.
April was in her SUV traveling about 40 miles an hour Monday on Highway 92 in Griffin.
We live in a mobile home, so I was trying to get to safety.
That's when she saw a tree start to fall.
It's scary. It's just scary. And I thought, this is it. This is the end. I'm done.
I would have still been shaking and shivering.
She was headed to her sister-in-law's house to meet up with her husband and stay there for the night. Monday evening, Robbie Baxter holds his wife tight. He saw the video too.
I closed my eyes and then the airbags popped. So it was also fast. Very fast.
Tonight, she's taking medication for her injuries. A seatbelt burn, strained muscle in her shoulder from holding the steering wheel so tight. Her knee hurt, and so is her big toe.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody that stopped. But after seeing the video, I'm very thankful.
Thankful that the man who recorded the video didn't slam into the back of her. Thankful she wasn't a few seconds later. Thankful she wasn't crushed by that tree.
Survived, Irma. Yes.
I also spoke to the man who recorded that video. He says he's just glad that the woman in that truck is okay. As for April, she has no idea what happened to her car, but thanks God she was able to walk away. Live in Spalding County, Lori Wilson, Channel 2 Action News.
Lori, thanks for sharing that with us. Astounding. Many local cities and counties are closing or delaying opening their government offices tomorrow.
We have a complete list on our website, WSBTV.com. Those closings are also scrolling at the bottom of your screen. The largest school districts also closed tomorrow. Atlanta Public Schools, Cobb, DeKalb, Fulton, and Gwinnett County all closed tomorrow.
For any new closings overnight, be sure to join us for Channel 2 Action News this morning. They'll get started 30 minutes early tomorrow, bringing you full coverage starting at 4 a.m.
As soon as the tropical storm warning was canceled, the National Weather Service issued a wind advisory. That continues until 3 a.m. Possible wind gusts across North Georgia up to 30 miles per hour. We'll look at when that continues and how long that rain is going to last. Will it be around for your morning commute? All coming up.
Our Severe Weather Chaser 2 is on the road as rain continues falling tonight. Live Severe Weather Team 2 coverage continues next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. Your home sold, guaranteed. MarkSpain.com.
I'm Justin Farmer. At Channel 2 Action News, we bring you straight into the moments happening now. Closer with News Chopper 2's HD camera and a fleet of drones. And we can see inside storms with 3D technology and the South's most powerful weather radar, Storm Tracker 2 HD. We bring you closer to local stories with details and video you can't get anywhere else. We invite you to join us. Channel 2 Action News, every day, 4, 5, and 6. Coverage you can count on.
When homes are selling fast, who can ensure you'll get the most money for yours? I'm Barbara Corcoran, and I've managed agents who have sold homes for thousands of dollars over list price. The key is to hire the agent with a smart, aggressive marketing plan. No agent spends more in marketing your home or sells more homes in the state of Georgia than Mark Spain. Mark sells homes for 4% more than the average agent and in less time. Go to markspain.com and get top dollar for your home.
Throughout your lifetime, you will encounter thousands of people, but all it takes is a stranger to change your life forever.
What's your name?
Oh my God! Nobody knows where we are. Ben! I can't move my leg. You have to go without me.
No, we go together. I'm not gonna die. Not today.
The mountain between us. Rated PG-13.
Fourth down. That's it. Time to punt.
I mean, if it were me, I'd go for it.
Right. The day that I win this will be the day that pigs...
Okay. We got a smart one over here. These are beef, right? Wait. Seriously?
Just kidding.
This guy. I was scared for a minute.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Play the Atlanta Falcons scratcher from the Georgia Lottery.
More than 1 million customers across Georgia have no power tonight, but the lights came back on in Midtown Atlanta here in the past 90 minutes. As you get a beautiful look from our tower camera.
Our live Severe Weather Team 2 coverage continues with Channel 2's Aaron Diamond. He's at the corner of 5th and Penn in Midtown Atlanta, and the power is finally back on for them tonight. Aaron?
Well, the power is on to some of these, but not too many. But look, literally within the last 2 minutes, we saw this crew pull up here, this tree crew removing this tree off of Penn Avenue. Behind it is a Georgia Power truck. They're going to be getting to work restoring the power to a lot of neighbors here in this section of Midtown that have been without power. A very rough night as Irma's remnants made it very difficult for folks here in Midtown.
The number one thing that scares me the most is there's so many old trees around here and they drop limbs like crazy.
An understandable fear for Matthew Robertson and his friends as the remnants of Hurricane Irma tore up their Midtown Atlanta neighborhood where high winds took down dozens of trees and snapped power lines, leaving him and his neighbors in the dark, but with everyone here safe.
We said, all right, let's light some candles and let's make the most of it.
Quiet now, but earlier, Jason Patrick and his buddies had plenty of motivation after seeing this tree fall across Penn Street in Midtown to hook up a line to the back of his pickup and pull it out of the way.
We had 11 transformers blow already today, and there's a lot of fire trucks running around.
And just seconds later, we saw one of those fire trucks drive by from a scene of a transformer fire a block away that lit up the lines. This video shot by a Channel 2 Action News viewer. Irma's high winds turned downtown streets into wind tunnels, ripping large metal panels off the 34 Peachtree building's top floors and onto Peachtree Street and others nearby. And traffic light arms pushed 90 degrees the wrong way. Meantime, the storm left a lot of Georgia Tech's campus lights out.
It happened pretty early on. I was surprised to see that the power went out that quickly.
It's still windy.
Yeah, it is very still windy.
We spotted this Georgia Power crew rolling through campus, assessing the scope and source of the outage, but still too windy to rehang any downed lines. And back here live, you can see the chainsaws are out. These guys are getting to work now, removing some of this debris. A lot of this work over the next hours and days here ahead. We're reporting live in Midtown tonight. Aaron Diamond, Channel 2 Action News.
Aaron, thank you. The remnants of Irma will be moving away from North Georgia through the night. And we have a team of meteorologists examining the newest data on the storm's track. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Glenn Burns.
Indeed, it began as a tropical wave off the west coast of Africa about 10 days ago, crossed the Atlantic Ocean as one of the most powerful Atlantic hurricanes on record. And now it's just a remnant of itself, an area of low pressure in southwestern Georgia, a tropical depression downgraded from a tropical storm just about an hour ago. Still some pretty good rain, though, and coverage anyway. Nothing very intense, but widespread and steady rain here along the counties that border Alabama, in and around the metro. The rain is becoming more widely scattered and ragged at this hour and pretty much tapering off from southeast to the northwest tonight. The wind speeds have really dramatically decreased. These are the current wind speeds of sustained winds across northern Georgia, mostly from the east and northeast. They're about 16 miles an hour here in Atlanta and Athens, 10 miles an hour in Blairsville, 19 in Carrollton, and east-northeast at 10 in Griffin. So those are sustained, but it's the wind gusts that are much, much higher. The winds are gusting from the east at 32 miles per hour at Glennis, Hartsfield, Jackson. East at 29 miles per hour is the wind gust now in Athens. So as soon as the tropical storm warning was canceled and now the flash flood warning was canceled, a wind advisory has gone into effect for much of northern Georgia tonight. Meteorologist Brad Nitz is in the command center right now to show you if one of your counties is included in that wind advisory.
Yeah, that wind advisory in effect now just for 4 hours till about 3 a.m. and by that time the winds will continue to diminish down below those criteria. So here's what we're looking at right now. All of metro Atlanta and North Georgia under the wind advisory. That's for wind gusts occasionally to about 30 miles an hour here for the next few hours. So things are certainly trending in the right direction. Things are improving and will continue to do so. And after 3 a.m., although a little breezy, wind will be even lighter. So let's take a look at those wind speeds. Looking ahead towards midnight, we're looking at winds 15 to 25 miles an hour approximately across the area, occasionally a little higher up into the North Georgia mountains. And then look beneath the winds and you can see the rain still decent coverage of light to moderate rain through midnight. Then we'll wind the clock here to stop at here 2 a.m. because that's about the time from Atlanta to the South Metro where the winds will come down even more. So we're talking about 10 to 15 miles an hour, a little breezier to the north, but even that diminishes as we head towards tomorrow morning. At daybreak tomorrow will be cloudy. This is 7 a.m. with a little bit of a breeze, 10 to 15 miles an hour, and just a few isolated light showers. So I don't expect the weather conditions to be problematic for travel tomorrow morning. That will be safe. But remember, roads can still have trees, piece of power lines, debris on the road. That's going to be the travel problem tonight and into tomorrow morning, not just the weather conditions themselves. In fact, weather conditions will be improving gradually through the morning and into the afternoon tomorrow. So here's the setup. Satellite and radar picture shows the rain bands developing over the Atlantic, wrapping around what is now tropical depression Irma back towards the west and southwest rather, and that's going to be moving back towards the northwest. So tomorrow morning, temperatures down into the upper 50s, 59 in Atlanta. We're 63 right now, which, by the way, is the high temperature for the day. We hit that at 1:43 a.m. this morning. That's when we set our high temperature. We've been below that up until about 30 minutes ago. We got right back up to 63 degrees. So our high today below our average low of 66. Tomorrow afternoon, temperatures are going to stay below 70. We're looking at 68 degrees for a high temperature, but keep in mind this time of year, our average high would be in the mid-80s. Very unusual situation where we had a tropical storm approaching from the south, but that cool wedge of air blowing in from the northeast, and that cool air today is what kept our tornado risk very low. We saw no tornadoes across the area, so good news there. So that's moving out. That's what's left of Irma, finally bidding good riddance to that. But here's Jose, a hurricane, Category 1 hurricane, over the next 4 days, expected to meander and do a little clockwise loop over the Atlantic. Beyond that, it looks like it's approaching the southeast U.S. Some of the long-range models quickly turn it away, but too soon to say. Something we'll have to watch carefully over the next several days. No immediate concern from Hurricane Jose. So your weekend always in view. We're looking at improving conditions for the next several days with highs in the mid-80s for Saturday and Sunday with a lot of sunshine. Fish and game forecast for tomorrow. We're going to be up towards the top of the good range around 6, a little bit after 6 a.m. and then again another peak late afternoon, early evening. We'll have another Check a Storm Tracker 2 HD in your 5-day forecast coming up.
And Brad, as you know, more than 1 million people in Georgia right now spending this night in the dark.
And from the board games, Monopoly is pretty awesome when you're bored, to the board games to dinner by candlelight, many in the metro area coming up with creative ways to pass the time. One viewer sent us this picture of himself relaxing and staring at a blank television along with the caption, Monday Night Football. Oh, wait.
Now, one of the most common ways that families spent their time together this evening is, of course, board games, from Jenga to Sorry to Monopoly, even some good old-fashioned puzzles. Who's putting that one together?
Ooh, still others spent the time making s'mores by candlelight, while others settled for a glass or two of wine or even a trip to, you got it, Waffle House.
Waffle House by my house was packed tonight. To see more pictures shared by our viewers and also to share some of your own, you can find us at facebook.com/WSB-TV.
And those living near 2 creeks in DeKalb County watching through the night for the possibility of flooding, the damage that it could cause next.
Here is another look at tonight's Jumbo Bucks Lotto winning numbers.
Weather brought to you by Montlick & Associates. Over $1 billion recovered since 1984. The Fish and Game Report is brought to you by EMC Security.
Get on the set of the biggest shows filming in Georgia. How movies make money for our towns. And the locals getting their big break.
When I talked to Oprah, I called everybody then.
Georgia's Gone Hollywood, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Only on Channel 2.
After an accident, you don't want to say anything that could be mistakenly used by the insurance company to reduce or deny your valid claim.
That's why you need to speak with a Montlick attorney first,
before you talk to the insurance company.
Remember, the insurance adjuster's role is to protect the insurance company's interests, not yours. Call 1-800-LAW-NEED-NOW to speak with a Montlick attorney, or use our 24/7 live online chat at montlick.com. The initial consultation is free, and you pay no fee unless you win.
At Pollo Tropical, we've been making the food you crave since 1988. Like our chicken, citrus marinated for 24 hours, then fire grilled to lock in the flavors. Now for a limited time, feed your craving with the Pollo Meal Deal. Half chicken with your choice of one of our delicious sides for only $5.99. Or feed your loved ones with the original family meal. A whole chicken with family-sized portions of homemade rice and corn for $12.99. We're putting the Pollo back in Pollo Tropical.
Your friends at the Fulton County Pitch Program want you to have a healthy heart. So add fruits and vegetables to your meals. Get at least 30 minutes of exercise a day and avoid smoking and tobacco products. The changes will add years to your life and life to your years.
A tree smashed right through the side of this northeast Atlanta house today. A viewer sent us this picture of the damage along Eulalia Road. As you can see, the tree caused extensive damage to that house. Residents near 2 creeks in DeKalb County are watching tonight for flooding.
County leaders expect South Fork Peachtree Creek and North Fork Peachtree Creek to reach flood stage. That could send water into nearby backyards and up to the foundation of homes.
It's coming up. I think we're projected to get rain for another couple of hours, so I wouldn't be surprised if it comes over the banks.
And first responders are warning residents to monitor the situation overnight and use caution. Irma's high winds blew the roof right off of this hotel, the terrifying sound that sent one woman running to see what happened. That's next.
We took legendary and made it liberating. We took safe and made it daring. We took intelligent and made it utterly irresistible. We took the most advanced E-Class ever and made the most exciting E-Class ever. The all-new E-Class Coupe from Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
Hey there, Georgia. I'm John Crow. Tonight's cash unit numbers are 5, 0, and 2. And lottery players won more than $96,000. Join us for the next cash free drawing tonight at 11:34.
At Kaufman Tire, we're here to make buying tires easy and to help you make a good decision. Our job is to recommend the best tires for your vehicle to get you back on the road fast. We also perform a wide range of auto service and scheduled maintenance. Try us once for our guaranteed low prices, and we'll work hard to keep you as a lifetime customer.
Right now at Kaufman Tire, save $70 on any set of 4 Michelin tires after mail-in rebate. Kaufman Tire, get in, out, and back to life.
Heart full, mind alive. I propel myself to greatness. There's nothing I withhold. I'm strong, brave, and born to roll. Undeniably powerful, strikingly sophisticated. That's Ford Fusion. Now get $4,500 cash back on the 2017 Fusion.
Have a look at this roof of a motel in South Fulton County blown into the parking lot. This is the Red Carpet Inn on Old National Highway in College Park. One woman told us the debris fell onto the SUV around 10 this morning. She said that she heard the commotion and went outside.
I was in there asleep and it woke me up out my sleep. It was scary because I'm not too fond of storms.
No one was hurt. We're working to learn if any guests had to be moved. Now, the storm caused damage across our area, no question. We have a county-by-county look. In South Fulton County, the tree went down onto a home on West Campbellton Street in Fairburn. Quite a bit of damage, but no injuries.
In Gwinnett County, a tree fell across Webb Gin House Road in Lawrenceville. You see the tree there in chunks. And look at what is left of a tree that came down in DeKalb County's Winona Park. That tree was pulled up by its roots today by today's strong winds.
Historic flooding in Florida, and news crews are helping to rescue victims. The reason it could take days for the waters to recede. Next.
Channel 2 Action News, sponsored by Atlanta Toyota, Georgia's #1 volume Toyota dealer.
First, it was the love of your life. Then, the promotion you deserved. The daughter you planned for. And the son you didn't. Now you're ready for a new home. So how do you properly protect all this? To solve the big challenges of tomorrow, start with simple steps today. If you're ready to start, we're ready to help. So let's get started at countryfinancial.com.
Introducing the Distractible Course, built to test Honda Sensing, an available suite of safety and driver assistive technologies. It can tell you about things you might not see and even help stop you from hitting them. It can also let you know when you drift out of a detected lane and adjust the steering to assist you back on track. Honda Sensing, just another innovative way Honda is looking out for you.
Larry David's bringing it.
Are you kidding me with that door?
Plus, it's another freaky night with Dave Salmoni, the animal trainer, and the Baby Bachelor finale. New Kimmel tonight on ABC.
With the Xfinity Best Offer of the Year, you just can't miss. You get epic internet and Wi-Fi. X1 with built-in Netflix. And when you add Xfinity Mobile, you get up to 5 lines. Dude, perfect.
Get our best offer of the year on the X1 Triple Play with X1 DVR free for a year. Plus, ask how to add Xfinity Mobile for $200 back. Click, call, or visit us today.
Why put another crossover on a road already filled with them? Why give it headlights like jewels, a body that feels sculpted? Why give it an interior where even the dash is cut and sewn by hand? It's simple. You can build a car or you can build a Cadillac. Purchase this Cadillac XT5 with 0% APR for 60 months. Visit your local Cadillac dealer.
We showed you a reporter from our sister station in Jacksonville, Florida, helping rescue people stranded in the flooding today. And about 30 minutes ago, the Coast Guard emailed us saying so far, it's rescued more than 100 people today in Jacksonville. Now, Jacksonville did avoid a direct hit, but still facing all the rising water.
Channel 2's Tony Thomas continues our severe weather Team 2 coverage from Northwest Florida. Experts say it could take days for the water to recede.
Electric crews are descending on the Jacksonville area. 200,000 residents without power and air at the last count. But that's not the only major issue facing this area. Irma's wind pushed ocean waters and rain up the St. Johns River and into homes.
What's your name?
The National Guard and residents with boats and large vehicles helped rescue more than 100 people from the Riverside neighborhood in Jacksonville Monday.
Total shock. We weren't expecting all of it.
The St. Johns River surged nearly 5.5 feet thanks to 10 inches of rain and Irma's strong winds. The dangerous combo sent water several blocks inland. How deep was it down there?
Probably about my waist all the way out there.
It looks like the ocean. Looks like the ocean coming up. That's crazy.
The waters also overtook several downtown streets. We watched as some drivers ignored warnings and drove right through the water.
36 years, never seen it like this. Seen worries about it, seen forecasts about it, but this, no.
I feel like really bad for all the people that live here. Like this is awful, absolutely awful.
And the dangers are not over. Authorities worry about high tides over the next couple of days. In Jacksonville, Florida, Tony Thomas, Channel 2 Action News.
Show you if this rain's going to continue for your morning commute and when that wind advisory for North Georgia expires next.
Next slide's got Kirsten Dunst, Miss America, and only 4 days till the weekend.
Great.
Tomorrow at 9, sponsored by AutoNation.
Looking for adventure this Labor Day?
Holy smokes.
Oh, man, that's pretty intense. Look no further than Chevrolet.
This is a fast car. I feel like I left my soul back there.
Wow, this has power.
Head to the Chevy Labor Day sales event and ride out the summer in a new Chevrolet. Now use Labor Day bonus cash to get a total value of $10,600 on this Silverado All-Star. Or get 0% financing for 72 months on all Tahoe and Suburban models. Georgia drives Chevy. Find new roads.
Georgians are partnering with communities around the world to build better futures. Walk or run with the Aga Khan Foundation, Sunday, September 17th at Stone Mountain Park. Family to family in Southwest Airlines. Community coverage you can count on.
Tonight's lottery drawing is sponsored by Calvin Smith Law.
Good evening, Georgia. I'm John Crow with the Cash 3, Cash 4, Fantasy 5 night drawings. First, let's play Cash 3. Your first winning number tonight is 4. That's followed by 7, and your final winning number is 3. Again, if you have the numbers 4, 7, and 3, congratulations. Now let's play Cash 4 and win you some money. Our first winning number is 3. That's followed by 3. Up next, we have 6, and your final winning number is 1. Again, if you have the numbers 3, 3, 6, and 1 in any winning combination, way to go. Now, let's play Fantasy 5, and I'll see if I can make your dreams come true. Tonight's jackpot is an estimated $150,000. Your numbers are 31, followed by 4. Up next is 42. That's followed by 15, and your final Fantasy 5 number is 22. Again, those Fantasy 5 numbers are 31, 4, 42, 15, and 22. Good night, good luck, and play on, Georgia.
Keeping your family safe with Storm Tracker 2 HD.
And we're back here in Severe Weather Center 2. In case you have not heard, the National Hurricane Center a little while ago downgraded Irma from a tropical storm into a tropical depression. So it is gone. And, you know, it developed as a tropical wave off the west coast of Africa and traveled for 12.75 days before it found its way into southwestern Georgia and died. That makes it the longest-lived named storm in the Atlantic Ocean since 2016. When Hurricane Nicole did that. All right, across North Georgia now, pretty good coverage of rain in our western counties that border Alabama now. A little more scattering of showers here in the metro area, but they're rapidly moving out now to the northwest at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. Winds, these are sustained winds now. Looks like a typical day here. No more really strong sustained winds. They're east at 16 at the airport and east at 16 in Athens, east-northeast at 10 in Blairsville. Rome reporting a 12-mile-per-hour wind and very light in LaGrange with 5 miles per hour. Now, that's sustained, but the gusts are a little stronger. East at 32 in Atlanta, 29-mile-per-hour wind gust being reported now in Athens. East-northeast wind gust at 26 miles per hour in Rome, and very light winds south of I-20 right now. Even the gusts are well below 10 miles per hour, so we're in pretty good shape as far as that goes. But a wind advisory was issued by the National Weather Service, replacing the tropical storm warning now. This continues only for the next couple of hours here to 3 a.m. For the most part, the winds are pretty much said and done, but there are some gusts now, especially as we get to the higher elevations of the mountains that are gusting up as high as 25 to 30 miles per hour. So the wind advisory just as a precaution now just until 3 a.m., but we're in pretty good shape for the morning commute. Those winds are gone, the rain's gone, and I'll show you what's ahead and when we're going to get back into the 80s coming up on a new 5-day forecast.
Now, people across South Georgia dealing with a lot of flooding and falling trees.
They've also been without power all day. Channel 2's Chris Jose continues our live Severe Weather Team 2 coverage in Glenn County. And Chris, one family took in evacuees hours before Irma even hit.
As you know, there were a lot of mandatory evacuations in the area, so a lot of folks came over to this neighborhood in Brunswick. But here's the problem. We've found several downed trees just like this one. In fact, this one was actually uprooted by Irma's gusty winds. Perhaps the biggest issue, though, this evening, no power.
Power went out about 3 o'clock. Yeah. 3 o'clock.
That's when the banging started.
That's 3 in the morning on Monday. Hassan Proctor's home and hundreds of his neighbors are still without power.
We just been making do, lighting candles, grilling.
Proctor took in families who left St. Simon's Island 12 hours before Irma hit.
You know, we just kept them close and stayed away from the windows and had a secondary plan if we had to act quickly.
But all around the neighborhood, there are downed trees. Some came dangerously close to homes. There's also flooding.
And that was our biggest fear, was getting swept away by the surge.
A few blocks over, we found a limb that impaled this Jeep.
If that's all the major damage we get, that's no major loss.
No major loss for the Hunter family, but many others have a long few days ahead. We found several homes underwater.
I don't think anybody who evacuated would be sorry. Let me put it that way. They're probably glad they're out.
Those hoping to get back to St. Simon's Island will have to wait at least another day. The National Guard is blocking the causeway to get there until crews can assess the damage. A mandatory curfew goes into effect at midnight. It lasts until 6 in the morning. For those who evacuated Glenn County, officials say there is no re-entry until further notice. Live in Brunswick, Chris Jose, Channel 2 Action News, Night Beat.
I hate that for all those great people down there. Now, new at 11, a house in North Fulton County damaged after a tree crashed onto it. The storm pulled the tree up from its roots and onto the roof. This is the Country Club of Roswell. You can see send us your storm pictures using the hashtag StormWatchOn2. Now, Governor Nathan Deal is asking for your bit of patience here as crews work to clear debris from roads all across Georgia.
It's going to take people being cooperative and not losing their patience as they try to move south again.
Today, the governor also urged drivers stay off the roads while you can. While touring GMA headquarters in southeast Atlanta, he made these comments. GDOT officials are now concerned that Florida evacuees are trying to get home now instead of waiting until the roads are safe. That story in less than 10 minutes.
Watch out for scammers looking to take advantage of you while you're recovering from Irma. The Georgia Attorney General's office is warning, beware of someone showing up at your house to offer help. They say make sure you get referrals from someone you trust and never pay for an entire project before the work is done. Also, pay with credit cards when you can instead of cash. Strong winds from Irma toppled trees across Gwinnett County, and in one case, a tree pinned a man inside his home. Channel 2's Ricky Klaus continues our live severe weather Team 2 coverage from Lawrenceville tonight. And Ricky, Gwinnett County Police invited you into its Emergency Operations Center.
And here in that center behind these windows, officials work to keep residents safe and healthy through this storm. We found significant damage they responded to in a few Gwinnett County cities. James Sisk left his Loganville mobile home off Athens Highway before a tree fell on top of it.
As everybody knows, trailer ain't the best spot to be, and when trees are falling. So I just didn't feel comfortable being in there, so I went to Kroger.
Sisk's next-door neighbor has it far worse. A tree squished his mobile home, pinning the man. Gwinnett County firefighters sent us this picture after they used airbags to free him. He's expected to be all right.
It's very sad.
Also sad, the state of Nicole Cobb's Decula home. A pine tree cracked in two, sawing through the roof of her rental house on Old Peachtree Road. No one was hurt. Only a few items were damaged.
I'm pretty stressed out and hope that it doesn't get any worse.
It could have been far worse in Norcross at this Rockborough Trail 2-story. The thick trunk of a downed tree narrowly missed the house. The limb still managed to shatter a window, rumple siding, and rough up the roof. Gwinnett County Police are urging drivers to stay off the roads until crews are able to restore power and remove trees from the roadway. Reporting live in Gwinnett County, Lawrenceville, Ricky Klaus, Channel 2 Action News, Night Beat.
MARTA is expected to restart service tomorrow morning. The transportation line suspended service today because of Irma. Crews spent that time clearing debris and completing maintenance on train tracks. It expects to have limited service at 7 in the morning, then increase buses and trains by midday tomorrow.
I'll explain the close call here. We're also talking to a man who says his home in Tampa Bay escaped Irma without damage. Moments later, his home in Tucker had a tree come crash through the roof.
I'm Justin Farmer. At Channel 2 Action News, we bring you straight into the moments happening now. Closer with News Chopper 2's HD camera and a fleet of drones. And we can see inside storms with 3D technology and the South's most powerful weather radar, Storm Tracker 2 HD. We bring you closer to local stories with details and video you can't get anywhere else. We invite you to join us. Channel 2 Action News, every day, 4, 5, and 6. Coverage you can count on.
When homes are selling fast, who can ensure you'll get the most money for yours? I'm Barbara Corcoran, and I've managed agents who have sold homes for thousands of dollars over list price. The key is to hire the agent with a smart, aggressive marketing plan. No agent spends more in marketing your home or sells more homes in the state of Georgia than Mark Spain. Mark sells homes for 4% more than the average agent and in less time. Go to markspain.com and get top dollar for your home.
Throughout your lifetime, you will encounter thousands of people, but all it takes is a stranger to change your life forever.
What's your name?
Nobody knows where we are. Ben! I can't move my leg. You have to go without me.
No, we go together. I'm not gonna die. Not today.
The mountain between us. Rated PG-13.
Fourth down. That's it. Time to punt.
I mean, if it were me, I'd go for it.
Right. The day that I win this will be the day that pigs...
Okay. We got a smart one over here. These are beef, right? Wait. Seriously?
Just kidding.
This guy. I was scared for a minute.
Don't sit on the sidelines. Play the Atlanta Falcons scratcher from the Georgia Lottery.
We're staying on breaking news tonight. One city in North Fulton County is asking all drivers to stay off the roads tomorrow. Here are live pictures now. This is Riverside Drive and I-285 in Sandy Springs, just one of some 30 roads impacted by down power lines. The mayor is asking for patience while Georgia Power starts to repair those down power lines in the morning. So far, the city has not released a timetable or been able to say when those roads will reopen. The high winds are bringing down trees all over the metro area.
Channel 2's Carl Willis continues our live severe weather Team 2 coverage from DeKalb County with a woman trying now to keep wind and water out of her home that has a big hole in the place. Carl?
Yeah, we've spoken to several people still dealing with the rain and dealing with one of the worst possible days of their lives, including the man who was behind the wheel of this car when a tree came crashing down on top of him. Now, looking at the damage, it's hard to believe, but most of them feel lucky today.
We were praying that we would make it through, and we're still praying for people who aren't as lucky.
Michelle Hiskey considers herself lucky, even though she had a tree come through her house in Decatur, the limbs piercing through the attic, sending a stream of rainwater inside.
Luckily, we were not on that side of the house. It went through 2 of our bedrooms and probably knocked out the bathroom in between.
About 8 miles away, Jim Reballs was celebrating the news that his home in the Tampa Bay area escaped unharmed. Then, moments later, what was left of Irma got his home in Tucker.
It turns out the hickory tree in the front yard just split our home in half.
It was also a day of close calls. Richard and Deborah Thomas say they had just turned off of a street that was lined with old, leaning trees that were swaying in the wind. They thought they were in the clear.
Just in a blink of an eye, a transformer flashes, and all of a sudden, the roof of our car just caves in.
I was amazed that he walked away, especially because a lot of the glass shattered on his side.
Richard says he sat up and felt the roof of his car on the top of his head, but the couple walked away unharmed.
Be grateful for every day because tomorrow is not promised.
All throughout DeKalb County, in Decatur and in Tucker, we saw massive trees down, snapped power poles leading to power outages and impassable roads. And more people like Jim and Laura Reballs in awe of Mother Nature's strength.
So one home escaped, our main home did not.
Now, he's lived in that house for 45 years, and we can just hear the rain running down into the basement. Many people, including him, are hoping that the roads will be safe and passable tomorrow so that the repair process can begin. Reporting live in DeKalb County, Carl Willis, Channel 2 Action News.
Breaking news tonight, the police department in Brookhaven is also without power. Channel 2's meteorologist Katie Walls continues our live Severe Weather Team 2 coverage with how officials there are trying to work around this issue. Katie?
So, Jovita, what I learned from Major Brandon Gurley with the Brookhaven Police, they moved into the Brookhaven City Hall, as a matter of fact, the PD as well as the emergency management, all at 11:30 this morning to prepare for Hurricane Irma. Now, so far across the city of Brookhaven, we have 18 closed roads because of all of the damage, numerous downed trees. And remember, anytime you encounter a roadway like you're seeing right here, there are no street lights. You want to treat that as a 4-way stop. Also, Major Gurley reminds you to please not move the barricades. I'm live in Brookhaven. Severe Weather Team 2 meteorologist Katie Walls, Channel 2 Action News, Night Beat.
Now, Irma, just about a thing of the past, dropped just feet and feet of rain, trillions of gallons in its journey. And many places along the Atlantic coast that did not take a direct hit still saw significant flooding. Streets are underwater tonight in Savannah, Georgia. This is the video from the well-known River Street right there where you want to hang out sometimes. And right now, River Street itself is flooded. The water was several feet high. Streets and store parking lots in other parts of Savannah also underwater tonight. This video shows the strong winds and waves along Jekyll Island in Glenn County. Emergency officials there reported wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. The power went out around 9:30 last night on Jekyll, still out on much of the island. Have a look at people boating through the flooded streets in Charleston, South Carolina. Officials say it could be several hours before the water recedes. This is some of the worst flooding in Charleston since Hurricane Hugo back in '89. Severe Weather Team 2 is looking in at that final track of Irma with an updated forecast for us all here in 10 minutes.
More than 15,000 cars tried to travel toward Florida on I-75 today. That's despite state officials urging them to stay off the roads. Channel 2's Richard Elliott continues our live Severe Weather Team 2 coverage in southeast Atlanta with why the DOT wants evacuees to stay in place for now. Richard?
Because we've seen trees like this one down, of course, on roads all over Georgia, but we've seen them across interstates, too. GDOT noticed that thousands of evacuees are trying to get back into Florida today, but they're cautioning these roads just aren't ready yet. We went to the Transportation Management Center to take a look at GDOT's big board. Cameras all over Georgia, including right here in Metro Atlanta, showing trees down over the interstate, including blocking parts of I-85 at Camp Creek Parkway. GDOT spokeswoman Natalie Dale says it appears that thousands of Florida evacuees are trying to get back home down I-75, something she says they just aren't ready for yet.
There is gas shortages on many exits from here to the Florida state line and even down into Florida. There is no power in many of these areas. There are no utilities in many of these areas. There are down power lines.
Georgia Governor Nathan Deal toured GEMA headquarters to get the very latest assessment on the problems facing Georgia. There's massive flooding in South Georgia, worse than they faced during Hurricane Matthew last year. Trees are down. More than 1 million customers are without power statewide. He urges people to stay at home and off the roads.
But I here again urge the public to be patient. If you're in a place that has water and power, you're fortunate, and we urge you to stay there. Don't get on the roads.
He's also urging Florida evacuees to stay off the interstates until power crews and public safety can get into damaged areas.
We will have our hero units and our other emergency units that will be there, along with numerous state patrolmen who will be there to facilitate that flow of traffic.
Back live now here on Atlanta Avenue. The governor's also, of course, urging people stay away from down power lines because obviously you're not going to know which ones are energized and which ones are not until possibly it's too late. We're live in Southeast Atlanta. Richard Elliott, Channel 2 Action News Night Beat.
Trees falling all across metro Atlanta because of Irma's high winds. A close call for one woman that's seen her running to her neighbor's house.
Get on the set of the biggest shows filming in Georgia. How movies make money for our towns. And the locals getting their big break.
When I talked to Oprah, I called everybody then.
Georgia's Gone Hollywood, Wednesday at 8 p.m. only on Channel 2.
After an accident, you don't want to say anything that could be mistakenly used by the insurance company to reduce or deny your valid claim.
That's why you need to speak with a Montlick attorney first.
Before you talk to the insurance company.
Remember, the insurance adjuster's role is to protect the insurance company's interests, not yours. Call 1-800-LAW-NEED-NOW to speak with a Montlick attorney, or use our 24/7 live online chat at montlick.com. The initial consultation is free, and you pay no fee unless you win.
At Pollo Tropical, we've been making the food you crave since 1988. Like our chicken, citrus marinated for 24 hours, then fire grilled to lock in the flavors. Now for a limited time, feed your craving with a Pollo meal deal. Half chicken with your choice of one of our delicious sides for only $5.99. Or feed your loved ones with the original family meal, a whole chicken with family-sized portions of homemade rice and corn for $12.99. We're putting the Pollo back in Pollo Tropical.
Your friends at the Fulton County Pitch Program want you to have a healthy heart. So add fruits and vegetables to your meals. Get at least 30 minutes of exercise a day and avoid smoking and tobacco products. The changes will add years to your life and life to your years.
Now we're getting several close calls in Cobb County. Some of the dozens of trees that came down hit homes and apartments with people in them. Our severe weather Team 2 coverage continues with Channel 2's Ross Cavett telling us that there was so much damage, often there was no one available to keep the rain from rushing in.
And I heard a loud boom. Freaked me out.
Heather Perkner said the boom had her running to her neighbor. She'd already sent her kids to spend the no school days with their dad and didn't immediately realize what had happened upstairs.
At first I was relieved because it was only about a foot away from the house. I didn't realize it had put a huge hole in the roof.
Neighbors and firefighters did what they could to keep the driving rain out, but with the gusty winds, no one was going up on that roof.
There's a huge hole in the bedroom up there, and it's now starting to come to the second floor.
Her tree was one of dozens, if not hundreds, firefighters dealt with across Cobb County.
We're covered up.
We ran into tree service guy Alan Hagler, who was busy, but not surprised to be busy.
Big deciduous trees up in this area aren't like the trees in Florida that are used to dealing with sustained winds. You get anything over 20, 30 miles an hour sustained and things just start coming down.
I just seen something move, and when I looked up and I seen, you know, the crackling that the trees make when it come down? That's what I seen.
Lucretia saw the two trees come down in her backyard that had blocked Church Street in Smyrna for a time. Just another of Irma's victims.
I didn't think it was going to touch Georgia. So, I mean, it's just kind of scary to know that it's coming through here.
Well, even though the rain may finally be moving out, Cobb County schools, government offices, and courts will all be closed again on Tuesday, as they are still not quite sure how long it will take to clean up the mess left behind. In Cobb County, Ross Gavitt, Channel 2 Action News.
Patchy light rain continues now across northern Georgia, and I'll show you when that wind advisory expires next.
First, it was the love of your life. Then, the promotion you deserved. The daughter you planned for. And the son you didn't. Now you're ready for a new home. So how do you properly protect all this? To solve the big challenges of tomorrow, start with simple steps today. If you're ready to start, we're ready to help. So let's get started at countryfinancial.com.
Introducing the Distractible Course, built to test Honda Sensing, an available suite of safety and driver assistive technologies. It can tell you about things you might not see and even help stop you from hitting them. It can also let you know when you drift out of a detected lane and adjust the steering to assist you back on track. Honda Sensing, just another innovative way Honda is looking out for you.
Larry David's bringing it.
Are you kidding me with that door?
Plus, it's another freaky night with Dave Salmoni, the animal trainer, and the Baby Bachelor finale. New Kimmel tonight on ABC.
Why put another crossover on a road already filled with them? Why give it headlights like jewels, a body that feels sculpted? Why give it an interior where even the dash is cut and sewn by hand? It's simple. You can build a car or you can build a Cadillac. Purchase this Cadillac XT5 with 0% APR for 60 months. Visit your local Cadillac dealer.
Right now from Severe Weather Center 2 on Storm Tracker 2 HD radar, the rain continues to diminish in coverage and intensity from southeast to northwest tonight, all of it moving to the northwest at about 40 to 50 miles an hour, so at a pretty good clip. But the tropical storm warning was replaced by a wind advisory, and that continues until 3 a.m. Thereafter, it expires, and we're looking at winds that could be gusting as high as 30 miles per hour, especially as we get into the North Georgia mountains. Now, the peak wind gust at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson today was 64 miles per hour. That was the strongest wind gust of any place in northern Georgia. Now, we do have winds gusting at between 45 and 55 miles an hour in many other communities, and that has caused the trees and power lines to go down. Meteorologist Karen Mint will report more on tomorrow morning's commute at 4:30.
Glenn, appreciate that, and we all thank you for counting on Channel 2 Action News.
A live look now at downtown Atlanta, where the rain is still coming down this hour. We're going to monitor the track of Irma through the night. We'll bring you the latest update with a special early edition of Channel 2 Action News this morning, starting at 4 a.m. Jimmy Kimmel Live is next. Have a good evening.